you can take in and put out energy at a 1-to-1 ratio, zero loss,
Mm.
right? Which is a perpetual energy system.
Mm.
Your entropy don't exist because your entropy is the same as your gain. Your loss is the same as your gain. It's a perpetual balance. So we come into the body as humans, so it don't take trillions of years. It just take the lifespan, a couple lifespans as humans, to learn how to maintain the permanent balance. And then you see less supernovas in the universes.
Mm.
See less collapsing to dwarf stars.
Mm.
Because all we are energy.
Yeah.
The greatest expression of energy in any star system is the star at the center.
Okay.
So when we realize that and we say, okay, we are governed from a different zodiac, the ray of light that's coming here from that zodiac
Mm-hmm.
is, and the stardust it picks up becomes you.
Wow.
That's how they know how to read your zodiac sign.
Let's see. Mm.
The energy that comes in by second, minute, hour, day, week, month, year.
Mm.
And then once you realize that, then you can say, oh, this person won't be back for 62,000 years.
Whew.
This one won't be back for 14,000 years.
Mm.
But when they come back, they going to be impactful because of the duration that they was gone.
Mm.
Right? And those are normally the teachers in the university. University Earth.
Shame says that's why they call the world a university, because we're
Yeah.
in school, universe. We're in school.
Yeah.
Wow, or a university, university. Oh wow.
That, school is a later term, a latter term.
Okay.
It's not an original term for education. University is the older term.
Okay.
Right. And if you notice, most people that separate, they don't call them schools no more. They call them universities or centers.
Mm.
Right? Because the word school, when you do etymology on the word school, you don't want to send your child there no way.
Oh. Okay.
Look, school is the English word for a place where you send your children to learn and be educated, right?
Yes.
The root word is shul, Shool, which is a Yiddish word.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Okay.
The Yiddish word came from the Hebrew word, which transliterates into English as Sheol, shell.
Okay. Chill. Yeah.
Sheol translates literally directly in English as hell or the abode of darkness, the dismal abyss.
Whoa. Whoa. Thank you. Wow.
So we've been sending our babies to hell all this time and wonder why they act like devils.
And before we started, I was just telling you that I had taken my grandchildren out, and you saw my grandson. He was like, he just didn't like the energy there. In school.
They know the new generation is coming in now. They know that the way the system is designed to suppress their energy.
Mm.
It's literally to arrest their development. Right? It's to retard all of their senses.
Mm.
When we think the word retarded is a vulgar word, it just means to slow down.
Okay.
Right? And they call people retarded because they couldn't keep up with what we call regular people or average people.
Mm-hmm.
So they was referred to as retarded. Then it became a misnomer for people with Down syndrome.
Yes, because even when I was younger, retarded wasn't a bad word. It just meant that your development was arrested, or like you said, like you were slowed down. But then through all this rhetoric, through propaganda, it became known as something you can't say. Mm.
That's everybody now is trying to be politically correct.
Absolutely.
And I keep telling you, there's no way possible you can be politically correct when the politics fucked up.
Ooh, I know that's right.
You can't be politically correct when the politics is incorrect.
Mm.
And everybody that's trying to be politically correct when the politics are politically incorrect, those are agents in the system, whether they know it or don't. Those are your Mr. Smiths.
Oh.
They the ones enforcing the codes to keep you asleep. But they don't know it all the time. A lot of the people that's luring people in the paperwork, they know it don't really work. Like they tell us it works.
That's
It only worked for slave catchers. It don't work for people that's slaves. It don't free the slaves. It converts slaves that become aware into slave catchers.
mm.
It's called the paper chain for a reason.
Okay.
And it's tying you to what? It's tying you to a ship. Whether it's a relationship called a marriage license, which is a business merger, whether it is a mentorship, which is a relationship, which is a business merger. Everything is about merging business. That's why everything about money now.
Okay.
And that's why we got to get back to the base metals, because it takes away the greed. Because the alchemical quality of gold is the great balancer. If I give you a $50 gold piece for a $49 object, don't worry about the dollar. The gold is going to balance the value out. It's going to return whatever that other dollar is. It's going to make sure that when my next batch of gold come in, I got $10 extra for no reason. It's the nature of gold.
Speaking of gold, I'm sorry.
Yeah, gold is the balancer.
Okay.
The kings were supposed to trade in gold, and the queens were supposed to trade in silver. That's why the motherland is the silver land, the fatherland is the gold land.
What? And we're returning back to that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, when they got rid of the understanding of the women's position on the planet,
Yeah.
then they say that the silver was the money of the gentleman.
They sure did.
They said that the money of kings. The gold is the currency of kings, silver is the currency of gentlemen. But really what it is the gold comes with coal.
Okay.
The coal is the black stone, the stone the builders rejected. It has to go through the forge in order to come out the other side a diamond. That means that he got to be subject to time, temperature, and pressure to see if he'll break. Coal, under time, temperature, and pressure, produces a diamond, and this is why you have a diamond on a gold band as a wedding ring. Because it shows that the man has been forged from the coal into the diamond. I mean, he didn't live through the struggles of life, and now he's so valuable. He's represented as the diamond, and he's allowed to utilize the gold as his currency as he moves through life, right? And then the silver, that's big mama money, is the coal and the gold. The silver is the bartering of the mothers playing bridge in the attic at the bridge club, right? And they making and wheeling and dealing, and they the ones arranging all of the arranged marriages. Man's job ain't to get involved in that shit. He got wars to fight. He got resources to develop. Right? The women do all of the political wheeling and dealing. That's what the matriarchy did. That's why they don't want the matriarchy.
Okay.
Because the rule standard, the baseline for matriarchy is if you're looking to hire a person for a job, they got to be the best person for the job.
Okay.
They can't leave the job until they either train a replacement, right? Or they find somebody that's equally or greater competence. You can't hire a person that's less competent than you to replace you.
Okay.
So you got to train them up. So you might start off with a father that's a plumber, but by the time you get to his great great grandson, he's a plumber. He's he tilled a farm. He a carpenter. He know how to go hunting because he got it all from all the different people that pass it along to him to enhance his skill set. Under the patriarchy, on the other hand, it's who it's a dick swinging contest.
Okay.
It's bravado.
Mm-hmm.
It's aggression.
Yeah.
It's disregard for other people's condition and situation in order to impose your will upon them. That's not the same as matriarchy. In the matriarchy, it's two questions asked before we do a major developmental work. How is it going to affect the children and how is it going to affect the earth? That's what the women want to know. Because if it's not going to be harmful to the children of the earth, they're green lighted.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But if it's going to be harmful to either one of them, like, I don't want no parts of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the difference in the mentality of the two systems.
Okay.
In the patriarchy, because the women hold mineral rights, the men can freely trade in the wealth that they don't get from the women.
Mm.
And this is what the fiat system is predicated on. So they come in to impose their will. The matriarchy don't impose their will. They support the will of the collective. It's a foundation versus a capstone.
Okay.
And the smartest thing for the one who wants the capstone to last long is to build a strong foundation by giving it all back. Now you can be the capstone with the all-seeing eye.
And I've heard you say we are returning to the matriarchy.
You have to. Yeah, that was part of the transfer of power back to the tribes.
Okay.
Matriarchal government. The tribal mothers, so one of these political figures gonna call them to Florida to restore the tribal, some kind of, they gonna tell you it's something tribal. And they gonna ask for the tribal mothers. All tribes are send their tribal mothers, so it's gonna look like the Million Women March all over again.
Wow. Okay.
And whatever one of these military, political, I don't know whose job it is. I don't care. As long as they give it back, I don't care.
You don't care, right?
I don't care who got to do the job, as long as the job get done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't focus on what Donald Trump ICE. ICE is on the land, ISIS is on the land. They telling you. They're telling you in two different ways. The weather is telling you nature. Mother Nature said ICE is on the land. That's the deep freeze. The government said, wait a minute, we got to put ice on the land because ISIS is on the land. That means the Great Mother is present. The Queen of the North.
Are you saying ISIS?
Yeah, from the land of the ice giants.
Okay.
There's our codes. Some of the Masonic codes.
Let's see.
And remember, all of those intelligence groups, CIA, MI5, KGB, I forgot what they call it now, Mossad, whatever they is in China, all over the world, they use Masonic code to relay information in everybody's face. They can use Masonic code and they'll tell you the story of a beautiful young puppy that was rescued by a 2-year-old hanging out the window in a snowstorm. It don't got nothing to do with none of that.
Wow.
But if you know how to read the codes, you will see the code be in the message. You're like, oh, yeah. And that's why a lot of people be like, oh, he didn't always tell the truth because everything ain't always true.
Mm-hmm.
But just because it ain't true, I mean, it don't got some of the truth in it.
Right.
Right? So you have to dig in there and be like, okay, now what do they mean by this stuff? Right? So they use number codes, gematria, and numerology. They use them in tandem. Everybody else keep using gematria, but they need numerology to translate the gematria.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Or you will just be coming up with what's called common figures for certain terms. You don't know what they mean though,
Mm-hmm.
right? We know that when they come out with a Q flip, right? Or if you see the number 177, that's QG, that's a GQ flip. Gentleman's quarterly, it's a quarterly flip.
Okay.
It's all in the magazines, right? The word magazine is a whole code.
Mm.
Just listen to it.
MAGA. MAGA. See.
The magazine is the magazine.
Okay.
So we just gonna name it George for now.
Mm.
It's codes everywhere.
Everywhere.
Right? But what the problem is that most of this shit that's in front of us is old tribal shit reworked into modern society, and if we don't know the old ways, we'll never figure it out.
Okay.
And you know, I used to get mad because my mom used to keep me up on all these old ass people. When I say old, I'm 6. They like 66
Okay.
and up. But they was all telling me stuff that became like the foundation to cracking the tribal codes that was being spoken. They was all telling me little different stuff. From my grandfather's friends to my big mama and her friends. I don't understand why I'm the only little 6-7-year-old boy in a room full of old ladies.
Right.
All these ladies old enough to be my mama's mom. They've been passing me around for the first 6-7 years of my life. I remember being in the blanket and looking up, and all I see is these old ladies looking down at me. I can still remember some of them saying stuff to my mama about, yeah, Shirley, he the one that he sure look like he that one I thought he was gonna be. I don't know what they talk about. I haven't learned to grasp the language as an iron baby. Well, I remember what they were saying. And some of them old ladies, I thought they was weird. Because they had to touch certain parts of the body to determine if you're defective or not. Some of them used to massage the legs, some of them would massage the arms, some of them would rub the back. But they got a different thing to determine if you're defective. Everybody tribe don't have the same standard. So you got different big mamas looking for different stuff. Is its feet straight? What the fuck you mean is its feet straight? He can walk. That don't mean his feet straight though. I gotta see if his feet straight. Why does all of you want to know if my feet straight? I don't know. But in the tribe that she come from, it's a title of high rank and nobility to have straight feet.
And that might be why when young people were getting married, sometimes the elders would ask certain questions like, you know, what's this bloodline? Where'd they come from? Let me see you walk. What is it? I don't like the speech. They would just look at little things and, critique you to see if you were fit for their bloodline.
Yeah, because everybody's not compatible. Everybody not compatible. Some people not gonna never have no babies together, and they will try till they die. They're not gonna never be able to do it because they're not compatible.
That goes back to that whole romantic love you were talking about. We want to get married because we're romantically in love, but you're not.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all an illusion. Yeah. Romantic love is it's one stage of union.
Okay.
When you arrange a marriage, romantic love don't come for almost 10 years later. But you be already burnt off the lust demon. You be already learn how to work together, everything, And then you feel that fire kick in 5, 10 years later.
Right.
Because you done burnt all of the BS off.
Mm-hmm.
We living in the BS instead of burning it off now.
Come on, preach.
We living in it. It's just a lifestyle now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't knock nobody for how they live. I do know this. A lot of them females that sleep around is collecting DNA so she can fix DNA helixes in future children.
Okay.
So how else is she gonna do it? Now remember, nature was doing this shit for humans was.
Mm-hmm.
You used to have specific women that was part of the Yoni priestess, and you knew who she was because she got 15 husbands in the same house. But they all there for a reason, though. They all learning something.
Yeah.
And she's not going to keep man one of them longer than he need to be kept.
Mm-hmm.
But normally those are the ones with lack of discipline, lack of organizational sense, abusive, overly aggressive, and then she used the harem to keep them in line.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the domestic violence situation, right?
Yes.
If the average dude in the domestic violence situation, if you put him in a situation where he got to deal with, if you put your hands on this woman, you got 15 dudes you finna fight right now. Not in 5 minutes, right now. He gonna be more cautious about, even if he don't have to be scared. If people think you gotta be scared for it to work, no, you don't have to be scared.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He might win every time, but by the time he get done winning, he be so tired he gotta lay down for a week. And she got to take care of it.
Oh.
See how that worked?
Mm-hmm.
It was women whose job it was to train those, what they call them breaking them, I don't call it breaking them, to teach them how to control themselves.
Wow.
Because lack of self-control is one of the worst things an adult male can have. If he can't control himself, he can't control his situation.
Mm.
Your self-control is directly proportionate to how far you can succeed, because it's how far you can hold the reins. If you can't control your temper, you're going to burn your kingdom down sooner or later.
Oh, wow.
The fiery temper will definitely burn the king's kingdom down. It ain't a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Because eventually he's going to make the wrong enemy. And normally the wrong enemy is the calm, reserved, patient individual that he disrespected and shitted on.
Ooh.
And they just sitting there watching him. And he look like he doing all his best shining, and he don't know he's lighting his own wick to his own explosive demise.
Mm.
That's why we used to, if you read Lord Chesterfield letters to his son, when it came time for him to teach his son about women,
Yes.
he sent you to a brothel.
Mm. Okay.
And his instructor was a madam at a brothel.
Okay.
So he sent him to the source of the knowledge.
Interesting.
When it was time for him to learn how to be a statesman, he sent him to be mentored by an experienced statesman, his father's senior. So it's like your father said, okay, you cool around here, I'm going to take you over to my uncle's house and let me see how you do around his people. Right? So it was structured. How you know who if it's 150 guys that's the prince, how do you know which one's going to be the king? Who's going to put in the most work?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the one that is the most just to the people? Right? He might be picked by his mama, but it don't mean that the rest of the mamas of the other prince going to pick him over their own.
Right.
But they got to, if they saying fucked up and they know it, because if they pick the wrong one, they get kicked out the harem. To be kicked out the harem is to be put out to pasture like an old cow. You isolated from the kingdom. You live in a yurt in the middle of nowhere. It take people 3 days to get to see you and 3 days to get home from visiting. That's how far in the middle of nowhere you is. And then you learn your lesson. And you never know, you might get your son killed in the process.
Wow.
So they don't want to go through those. The wise ones, they be like, nah, I'm gonna pick the right one. So they pick the prince. He gonna be the king.
Speaking of the king, once the United States Incorporated is completely dismantled, which it probably is already, we're moving. I think I heard you say to the republic, and then after we move to the republic, then to tribal law. Is that how it's going to work?
The republic was ran on tribal law.
Okay.
That's why it took us from under the republic. It was the law of the land. And we call it the common law.
Okay.
Using legalese. It's called the common law or public law. If you go and you look at any legislation, it might be United States Code, this, but it don't really apply if it don't have the public laws derived from.
Okay.
It got to be derived from a public law to be applicable. They call that being constitutionally compatible. Right? The Constitution was only temporary. It wasn't supposed to be a forever document.
Oh. Okay.
The Constitution is a two-part document. We're thinking it's one.
Mm-hmm.
You can't separate the Constitution from the Declaration of Independence. It's a continuation of the same process. From the Declaration of Independence and in the Constitution, it told you when the government stopped doing the stuff that we told them in this paperwork they're supposed to do. It is your duty, not your motherfucking luxury. It's your duty. Your obligation. This is what you have to do. Overthrow the mother. How do you overthrow it?
How?
Country is established on treaty law.
Okay.
They never honored the treaty. That mean they was operating in fraud. That mean they never intended to honor the treaty. So that mean even the fact that they came to the table under the presumption of good faith in negotiating the treaty, they knew at the time of the treaty that they wasn't going to honor the treaty. And the only way that you can come to this conclusion is if they honored more treaties than they dishonored. When it comes to the tribes, most of us don't have treaties with them anyway.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
The Constitution was never supposed to cross the Appalachian Mountains. It had nothing to do with the rest of the country. It had nothing to do with Canada. Canada is not separate from us. I'm like, why would we even think that? They got the same QSIP number. So it's saying, yeah, you can go to GM Hamtramck, but don't go to GM Orion. If I work for GM, I work for fucking GM.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's just a separate. The lines of demarcation are what they call militarized zones. If you notice, they don't have states in Canada. They got provinces.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Because a state is a condition. You have been in a steady state. People don't live in steady states. They live in a perpetual state of fluctuation. Back and forth. They move around.
Right.
Right? So the state is the militarized zones. And then they build up each militarized zone to its own system.
What's with the parish like Louisiana? Sister Gwyneth wants to know.
The parish was French. The county was English. I remember New Orleans was originally under French occupation. It wasn't under Spanish or English.
Okay.
And so, even though the Spanish on paper was assigned everything west of the Mississippi by the Pope, they didn't have control. So remember, they recruiting people from various countries: Denmark, Spain, Portugal, France, the British Isles, and I think the Portuguese. They recruited from all these different places people that's being exiled as they coming into different companies. What they telling us was colonies, was companies. The Virginia Company, the Jamestown Company,
What?
right? And most of them merged and became part of two major corporations, the Northwest Trading Company and the Virginia Company. He ended up absorbing almost all of the colonial settlement corporations. These was companies. Okay, then the people on the land had already been doing business with each other. We already had confederacies. We already had commonwealths over here. We didn't call them by those names, but that's what the European description for what we were doing became known as. Right? The Constitution is derived from Continental Congress. The Continental Congress was a Cherokee Confederacy, where your Iroquois Confederacy was the ones that was in the South, the Southern one with the Confederate flag. Right? So this is the ones that the Gullah Wars was being fought under.
Okay.
Right? So they ended up recruiting the North corp companies to assist the companies that was trying to get a foothold in the South. Right? So when you go back to Andrew Jackson and you go back to King George settling Georgia, we was coming from north, west, we went from north to south, west to east to fight the Gullah Wars.
Okay.
Georgia was put up to stop us. They tell us in the history books we was runaway slaves. That's not true.
Okay.
We was already making these incursions in 1863 when so-called slavery was abolished. Most of the Western Territory was not settled yet. About 90% of the Western Territory was not settled yet by America.
Okay.
You had two contingents, right? One of them left, had protectorate treaty agreements made with tribes in the Port of Nola to be the protectorate of everything from the Appalachians to the Rockies, from the Gulf into Canada. It was supposed to make like a funnel up the sides of the mountain to go into Canada and all of Canada. That was the French Protectorate Treaty. This is why they speak French in Canada right now.
Okay.
It's like they got two languages, French and English. This is why. So the French settlement, when the Northwest Territory, which was Michigan, Wisconsin, Milwaukee in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan. That was called the Northwest Territory. If you look in the law books today, that's the territory covered by the books called the Northwest Reporter. You get cases from all of those states. That means they never did away with the Northwest Territory.
Okay.
That means they just divided it up. Every time they divide it to a smaller portion, that's tighter and tighter military control. In Texas, wide open. The Lone Star State. None of that's coincidence. In their constitution, Texas have the right to secede from the Union and form 5 separate nations if they choose. And the lines of separation is already in the Constitution of the state of Texas.
Wow.
Right. Um, Alaska is an acquisition from the Russians. The Russians used to send support to the tribes, contrary to popular opinion. They were the only ones that resisted the Europeans' conquest of the Americas in Europe.
Mm.
Nobody else in Europe objected. Everybody had a hand in it. And so Russia was the only ones. That's why when you go to the Bolshevik Revolution, America never stopped funding Russia till today.
Okay.
Remember, under the communist country, they wasn't making no money. They didn't have capital gains because nobody was allowed to hold wealth.
Mm.
It was all equally distributed. Well, somebody was paying for all that. When you go pull up the almanac from any year, 93, 85, and you look at how much money America is sending as economic aid to Russia, they never stopped sending the money from the time of the Bolshevik Revolution through World War II into the Korean War, Vietnam War, the Cold War. America never stopped funding Russia. Because they're the only ones that gave any support to the tribes. That was not the government's choice.
Okay.
The government wanted us to hate Russia. That's what the Cold War was.
Sure did.
But they couldn't deny what we already promised to give Russia for helping us.
Mm.
They still had to pay them. It's just like Israel. America finances Israel. And they finance them so good, they get shit we don't get.
Yeah.
Save the best for last.
Israel will be last.
BB know we coming.
Who does?
BB.
BB. BB.
BB
You have another question, and that is, what is the importance of copper?
Copper is an industrial metal. And if you don't remember, the plumbing used to be made out of copper. The wires was made out of copper and silver.
They used to, and then when the old winos and drug addicts used to run out of money, they would steal the copper piping to resell it because it was so valuable back in the day when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Child, excuse me.
So, platinum group metals. Look into platinum group metals because copper, gold, silver, platinum, those are all platinum group metals. There's some more in there. Iridium.
Platinum.
I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but it's like 10 metals in the group of platinum group metals. I believe copper is a soft metal.
Okay.
And it doesn't fall in the platinum group, but it still have conductive properties that make it good for uses in electrical components. They can replace copper and gold. I mean, they can replace silver and gold in electronics with copper and still be able to produce it. It'll just be a little bit cheaper.
You know, I was talking to my coin dealer, local coin dealer here, and I encourage people to establish a relationship with their local coin dealer. And I asked him, I said to him, you know what? Copper is the new silver. He said, no, copper is the new gold. I was like, what? He said, yes. He said, gold really does. It's not, he said, you can call it valuable. He said, but silver, I would say is more valuable, but copper, he said to me, I would say is the new gold. And that's what you need to be paying attention to. I was like, okay.
Yeah, remember, as the penny, the copper used to be the base of the financial system. That's the whole purpose of the penny is.
Okay.
So it was more useful to have copper pennies. Now I don't know what the hell they make this money out of. Pennies ain't made out of copper no more, and no silver coins are made out of any other silver, and nickels are no longer made out of nickel. And nickel is its own metal, but that's it.
So people want to know what's going to happen if they can't afford gold and silver, or even
Their
maybe.
systems collapse.
Okay.
Their systems collapse, but they can't let them totally collapse. So the bailout with the metals is to actually build a foundation. It's like your house has been floating all this time in the air.
Mm.
Now the mechanism, somebody words, if they didn't mean something, the mechanism by which the house floated is about to be snatched from under the house. So what do? In order to keep the whole house from crashing, you build a foundation under the house. And then you turn off the support. So when the house do settle, it don't crash. It actually settles on the foundation. The foundation that the economic system is going to land on is the metals. Gold, silver, nickel, copper, platinum, tin, aluminum, the metals. Okay, when it fall and land on the metals, the house is now stable. What's going to happen to inflation then? Inflation is going to plummet.
Yes, sir.
Because inflation is the interest of debt. When there was nothing backing it, the only thing that you can use to keep that house afloat was debt. When you take away the debt and you put substance in its place, that's how you switch out the house. You switch it from the debt-based system to the substance-based system. Once it's fit no substance, it's a firm foundation, it's less likely to collapse. Like when they tell us the stock market fell in 1929, it didn't fall.
Okay.
They drove that motherfucker off the cliff.
Okay.
What do I mean by that? The richest bankers in America was buying up bonds. They was buying bonds. J.P. Morgan, what's the name? The steel magnate, Carnegie, Andrew Carnegie. What's the other one? The oil tycoon. But they all got together and decided to buy these bonds because the bond was an interest-bearing bond based upon capital gain by government entities. So they had government businesses that the government would use to provide resources to people that they made a profit. Now, the profit, you have to have the profit for you have to make profit for a certain amount of time in order to pay off the loan. So once the profit, once they demanded the marker on the loan early, before the marker was due, because it's in the contract, putting in all of these bonds, cashing them in all at once, drives the whole financial system off the cliff. Now, you need a way to give people relief under those conditions, right? And in comes the Federal Reserve to save the day.
I see.
And that's why the founding fathers was terrified of central banks. Big Mama Bank wasn't a central bank. It was a collection of family banks, and everybody was wealthy before the colonizer came. As a matter of fact, when you read colonial accounts of the first colonizers to come, including Columbus, they all tell you that we was filthy rich. And that we had no need to try to hold nothing back. We didn't have no need to be greedy with nothing because we gave everybody everything. We didn't need that.
Yeah.
That's a different character of person when you raised with everybody rich than when you raised with half the people poor.
Right.
The character of the people has changed. One bring out your true nature. I
Okay.
say, look, everybody rich today and all the rotten motherfuckers tomorrow chop their head off.
Mm.
If the money don't bring out the dirt in your character,
Ooh,
you just was waiting on the opportunity. Now you got it. Let's see what you're gonna do with it.
that part.
Right? The wealth will expose you for who you really are. The same as poverty.
Mm.
Poverty will expose who you really are too.
I say.
And that's why they created the middle class so everybody had somewhere to hide.
To hide? Wow.
Yeah. You ain't poor enough to suffer and you ain't rich enough to show your true character.
Ooh. So what's going to happen in this new with this new monetary system? Is everybody going to be wealthy like we're told they are?
Most of us, but there's going to be a problem.
Okay.
But some people, they have to do stuff that's in their bloodline that they're supposed to do to get their wealth, and they're not doing it.
Mm.
So they're going to have to live with somebody until they can figure out how to get their shit.
Hmm.
Ain't going to be no jobs. We can get away from that slave shit. Like, if you right now, if you work at GM, Ford, or Chrysler, you better keep that job because that's going to be your permanent, you can own that motherfucker.
Oh, come on.
The workers is going to own it. If the workers don't own it, it's not going to be allowed to be here. You're not going to be able to have a foreigner come here and own something, and while we working there, making them rich over there on the other side of the water.
Thank God. Thank God.
That's violation of matriarchal rule.
Mm.
Right? This is how you get rid of slavery, too. Once you get rid of slavery, you can do it. Because everybody's supposed to have a way to earn their keep. Everybody be saying that they're not supposed to spend money on earth. That's not true.
Mm.
You're not paying to live here. You're not paying because you exist. You're paying because you're interacting with other people. That's where the whole financial transactions was coming for your interaction with other people.
Mm.
You're not paying for your lights, water, and your gas. You're paying for them using the system to get it to you. You're paying for the use of their systems.
Mm.
But you didn't know we owned them.
That, yeah.
And that's why you pay for the use of them. As soon as you realize you own them, you're like, I'm not going to pay you for my own shit. And we've been paying them for our own stuff.
And we're tired of it, honestly,
Yeah.
quite frankly. We're tired of it.
From property taxes
Mm-hmm.
to, they're not never supposed to tax you on your base income.
Mm.
Meaning that if you derive your livelihood from working a 9-to-5 job, it's not supposed to be taxed.
Mm.
You're only supposed to tax secondary income under the system they was given. Secondary income means you got a job that you work to make your living, but then you're trying to establish a business so you can quit your job. That's a secondary income.
Ah,
Your business can be taxed,
okay.
but your labor can't be taxed.
Mm.
But they act like they didn't hear that because they had to enslave everybody the same. And then they had to turn this against each other so we can keep fighting about who's in charge of the slave.
Mm.
We thought it was the cracker. We didn't know it was some niggas running the show. Hurt my feelings.
And they're not even from here, right? The ones that's running the show.
Yeah, they're not. I know they ain't from America.
Right. They're not from America. Here's
And
another question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chief.
I said that's the only thing I'm concerned about. They're from America. If they come over here, they can be hanged over here.
I was about to say the brothers would take care of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why they hadn't. Okay, two more questions. With Trump taking Greenland and the Arctic, does that include Antarctica?
No.
Okay.
Antarctica is its own place. It got people live there. I don't know why y'all keep thinking Antarctica is desolate. Like it got people I'm not talking about no people that move from Philadelphia to Antarctica. That's not what I'm talking about when I said they got people that live there. I'm talking about just like they went to Antarctica and went under the ice and found them people is the same way they floated over here. ran a show on Hispaniola and said, "Look, we discovered America." The same shit. It was people there. Most of them was frozen. And the other ones was in another part of Antarctica under the ice in a bustling civilization.
Wow.
They knew about us, but they also knew about the ones we was fighting against, and they didn't want no parts of that shit until they came down there. So when they got down there, you got to remember the first ones down there was America. Admiral Richard Byrd was the first one who went down there.
I just read about that. Okay.
Right now, when we went down there, they made negotiations, and they were never supposed to leak any of this material to other nations because wasn't nobody else supposed to go down there. Well, by having the Nazis having the greatest intelligence service at the time, they was the top of the line espionage network. They was able to get hold of the documents from America, and that means they had somebody over here on the inside working with them.
Oh.
But they had to come through a secret society. They didn't go through government channels because 90% of what we seen the Third Reich doing, they was acting upon the instructions or the information that they recovered from the Thule Society. Then that's why if you look at Heinrich Himmler was running in the Himalayas. He was looking for something. He was looking for what's called the Scrolls of Destiny. The Scrolls of Destiny tell you how to govern the world.
Scrolls of Destiny. Okay.
If you go back to the Sumerian tablets, it talks about Humbaba is still in the Scrolls of Destiny. Right? When you get into India, they call them the Scrolls of Government. And it teaches you 9 areas to govern in order to govern mass groups of people. You gotta remember the term husband don't mean a romantic lover. The term husband means the one who can govern the firm.
Yeah.
If you ain't got no firm, you're not really a husband, you just using the title. Right? The husband is the man of the firm.
Okay.
Right? And that's why they call the wife the helpmate. He's supposed to be the labor on the firm. She's his assistant. She's the brain. Pinky in the brain.
Okay.
Right? Pinky the vagina trying to get something across to this stubborn ass brain. The brain ain't figured out yet that he ain't tough as he think he is. Because all these brilliant ass ideas keep failing, and every time this vagina Pinky tell him something, it work. And he keep looking at Pinky like he's a goofy.
Come on.
You just gotta know how to read the signs. You gotta know how to read. Every man's job is to read his woman. He don't have to do nothing else. Learn how to read your woman.
What do you mean by that? Read your woman.
When some women will say, "Baby, I feel this way. Don't go out." That means if you go out there, your ass might get Swiss cheesed up. But then you got some women that say, "Baby, don't go out there. Something might happen." That means that if you don't take your ass out there, she gonna be at the house nagging you for the rest of the night.
Okay.
The women, there's 2 different women, 2 different readings on what telling you the same thing. Every female got an energy. You understand her energy, just like they telling you to learn God. You got to be one with the Lord, right?
Yes.
Let this mind be in you, which was in Christ Jesus. What the fuck is they telling you? When you find out Jesus was righteous, it started to make sense. The Sophia, the Ein Sof, the divine intelligence, divine wisdom.
Okay.
The great union is Tahuti and Isis. Tahuti is the wisdom of the man. And Isis is the loving beauty of the woman. They keep getting this stuff twisted. they keep thinking that ISIS is some kind of way to subservient to Osiris. Like, she the one brought this nigga back from the dead. What the fuck are you talking about?
Come on.
How powerful do she got to be to resurrect this dead piece of meat to bring her husband back in order to be able to give him orders at root? Right? And if you don't understand what's being told in the story, keep looking at it. Sooner or later, it's going to unravel. Why are you going to face and you're going to go, I didn't know that's what that means. I just dawned on me that this means, yep. Offset, Isis means the throne.
I gotta write that down.
Pharaoh means the light of the house, but it's feminine. It's she the light of the house. Everybody keep thinking the man is the Pharaoh. He's not. They didn't even call him Pharaoh. Pharaoh was not even a term in reference to the man.
Okay.
He was called Ai. A'. That's the pharaonic title. Or Naya. That's not, the Pharaoh is the feminine.
Wow.
They know it's feminine, but they keep trying to figure out why they keep calling these men Pharaoh. That's because they don't want you to know that the Pharaoh was the woman, because she was the only one that had heritable rights of the wealth. Go back and look at the wealth of Kemet again, and then you tell me that the women didn't have no power.
Okay.
Because they was the ones who was able to pass the wealth. That's why it was important to marry the prince off at an early age.
Okay.
He had to marry the lady that had the money. He got the birthright to rule, but if you don't marry the Mary, because Mary was the one who sat on the throne, the Pharaoh. If you don't marry the Mary, he can't have a rulership title.
Wow.
Osiris could never become Heru without the mother overseeing it.
Well, then that would sound like he would marry an older woman then, no?
No, what it is, okay, so let's go back to the Oedipus complex. Remember the Freudian doctrine? What that means is the woman energetically picks your mate. She's not going to tell you she picked him, though. The mother picks, the queen mother picks the wife of the to-be king.
I love that.
But once he meet her and he agreed with his mother or his father, because his father when the blue house got an opportunity just like the red house.
Okay.
The son gonna have both traits. He gotta have the rulership from the blue house, right, and then he gotta have the blood right from the red house. Right?
Okay.
Now, whichever one of them he that understands him better gonna pick the best woman.
Okay.
Right? Like, my father don't give a damn what you do as long as the coochie good. He can take all the bitching in the world if the coochie good. I can't take it. I don't want to be around no bitter, miserable. I don't want that. That's not my life. My mama understand that about me, but my daddy don't. He think I'm just like him. If the pussy good, he'll like her. No, that don't mean nothing. If my peace is not intact, I can't enjoy the sex.
Yes, sir.
Right, so my mama knows that I would rather have the peace over the sex. So she's not gonna pick the same type of female my father gonna pick. But they both will pick one. But only one of them got the mama consent. Only one of them got the signature of the 13 Queen Mother. And she the one got to flip the 68 to the 89.
Okay. One last question, Chief. You on the roll today. Let me see if I can get to it. Was Sister Janine's question. Let me see if I can find it. I saw Sister Janine, and then here it is. Please explain more about. Okay. She says, Rod, hey, she's asked this a couple times. Please explain more about how to get our money. How?
Most of us are not going to have to do nothing.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen is everybody going to start getting government letters, and it's going to tell you who a particular ancestor was related to you.
What?
A big mama.
Okay.
When you get this letter, it's going to tell you either report to depending on the state and the systems in the state. In Michigan, it'll tell you report to the Small Business Administration and take this letter with you. When you take the letter with you, there's going to be somebody at the Small Business Administration whose job it is to show you your whole shit.
Wow.
But it might be another organization in a different state.
Okay. That's deep. Mm.
They know who we all is. They think you think they was taking the census just to be taking the census and they wasn't using it for nothing. They've been watching every one of us. They know our bloodlines from when they erased us in the 1800s to now. They know who all of us are. All of the ones of us who was original to the land, they know who we are. They got our shit on reserve. And ain't nothing they can do with it but reserve it for us.
And then they're going to give it back.
They got to. Then who else they going to give it to? They can't give your shit to somebody else.
I love it.
But that's why they gave us all of this. Everything they used to oppress us has been used to liberate us. So the Social Security number that they was using to enslave us, now they finna use it to pay us.
Oh, I'm here for it. I love it.
All they gotta do is revert the payment direction on the account. That's it. The money already there. The national debt is what they owe the tribes. You ever wonder who they owe that money to?
Us, the tribes? Oh.
Yeah, they've been squatting on the land. They had to keep track of what they owe us.
So when we say some people got to go back, they got to get off the land, what if they don't want to go back? And what if they don't know where they're supposed to go back to?
Well, those people will be special cases. The ones who don't want to go back.
Yeah.
It depends on how long they've been here. It depends on what their whole family line been doing since they've been here. You can't be a KKK nigga lyncher for 200 out of 400 years, and then at the end of that 200 years of nigga lynching, then the first generation of people that say, well, we ain't gonna need no more nigga lynching. It don't work like that.
Okay.
But if your family got a track record of trying to get from under it, because there's a lot of these people that we call Caucasians that's been trying to get from under it. And then some of the worst races was passed. To this day, in the KKK skinheads and Nazis right now, if they take DNA tests, half of them getting kicked out or killed. Because they thought they was good old-fashioned white boys. They didn't know they were mud puppies. But serious, they mix. Most of the people that we see whose family line can trace back 100 years over here, they got their drop of blood. We can't kick them out. Mm-hmm. The ones that's here, they might not want to go home, but it might be better for them, like Africans.
Yeah.
That's why I tell everybody, if you feel like you want to be part of Africa's liberation, there's no time better than right now to get your ass up and go help them fight for freedom.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be up in these tribes, and I'm not stopping till we win. So if you think that can't nobody be free to Africa free, you need to go over there because they liberating the F out of Africa right now.
They sure are.
And then you can't be talking about, I've been with you the whole time, brother, like you're going to do us when this shit over with. And no, we know you ain't been with us the whole time because you've been telling us we frauds. And we got the receipts. So you should have said that shit out your mouth if you didn't know what you was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So all of the ones, and then you got some that's agitators that's only there to be an agitator. They're not there to be right or wrong. They just there to be an agitator to make people have conversations about hard topics. They get a pass. Right? But the ones that's been the gaslighters, shade trees, backbiters,